Hello guys, welcome back to Pause and welcome back to Planet Zoo. So apologies, it's been a couple of days since the last episode, and unfortunately this is probably going to be the last one from this beta. I just haven't had the time this week and I have been ill for the past couple of days, so I know it's all excuses, but I do apologise. But however, we are doing something very exciting in today's episode. So a few people have asked for it, and it has been on the list for a while. We are going to be doing a reptile house. Well, generally a reptile. It's that kind of insect, bug, that kind of enclosure, indoor exhibit. So we are making a start here on the inside of it. I don't do much in the interior in this one. I did run out of time. However, the main bulk of today's episode, as you've probably seen from the thumbnail, is the outside of this exhibit. So taking massive inspiration from Disney's Animal Kingdom and the Tree of Life, we are building our own little creepy caves is what we've called it. So it's a cave structure with a massive tree on the top, and I think it comes out quite nice. I'm quite impressed with it. And I quite like it. Like I say, taking massive inspiration from Disney, but putting my own little twist on it. In terms of the actual exhibit itself, I don't have the time to actually put some of the animals in. Hopefully, I'm going to try and find a bit of time before the beta ends to finish this off and do one last little polish around the areas. But I can't make any promises because time is ticking. At time of recording, it is quite late on Sunday, and the beta does end tomorrow on Monday. So I'm trying my best to get all this stuff done and finished. However, it's only a month or so to go now until we get the full game release, so we can really start cracking once that comes out, and start building a wonderful zoo. Because obviously all the stuff we've been doing in this series has just been testing out the game, testing out a few bits and pieces, and just trying some crazy stuff. Like this one today is a little bit out there, a little bit crazy, a little bit wacky, but it turns out quite nice. So in terms of the building itself, the realism side of things, we've put in an actual structure, so there is a building underneath all this, and then we're layering over a little bit of some of these logs for the base, which I think work quite nice. I really like these log pieces. I can see me using loads of these when we start building our real zoo. So on top of the logs we put a layer of rocks, which kind of makes up the cave portion, and then on top of that we put in some of the trees. We dress it all up, we do a little bit with lighting, and we also put in a nice waterfall, which is something we haven't actually played around with yet in this beta. So generally this last episode, this main exhibit that you've seen us build here, is just one final sort of let's test everything. So we're testing the lighting, we're testing the effects in terms of, like I say, the waterfalls and the water. We're also testing out obviously the exhibits using the smaller animals. So it's just one last big test before we have to say goodbye to the beta. So once we get cracking with the game in November, we can just jump straight in. So that's the plan, and like I say, I do think it comes out quite nicely, and it has been something that you guys have been requesting. So I still want you to request stuff, so whatever you would like to see us build once this game is launched next month, please let me know, and we can just basically start straight away, jump in, and we've got some great ideas there. So yeah, do let me know down below what you would like to see. And yeah, it's quite exciting that we've not got that long to go now until the game launches. One thing I will quickly mention, as I've not had a chance to do a specific dedicated video for it, it was World Animal Day, I believe yesterday or the day before, and there was a little announcement from Planet Zoo. They have announced that there is the Okapi will be in the game, and also there is a brand new transport ride that they have announced, which is a boat ride, a nice leisurely boat ride that will go through the exhibit. So I'm really happy with that, because one of the very first series that we ever did on the channel that kind of kick-started our Planet Coaster was actually a boat ride series that we did, Adventure Boat Ride, just after the Adventure Pack launched, and it was that was the series that really kick-started this channel. So yeah, I've got a little soft spot for boat rides, so I think that's something we will probably do. I can see a nice sort of starting to come up with an idea for like a boat ride safari. Think Jungle Cruise, but with real animals. It's something I think would be quite fun as a series to do. And it might be the first thing we tackle before we jump into a full zoo. I'm not sure yet. There's still a month or so to iron out the details. But I think it'd be quite fun to do a standalone series first, and then we'll venture into some of the more unique stuff in terms of making an actual zoo. I mean, even if we do create a full zoo series, it's not going to be massive. It's not going to be a massive park because I've got a history of not finishing things in these kind of games. So I think we'll keep things small but very well detailed, I think, is the plan. So we'll just take a long time doing all the little bits to make it look even better. Now, one thing I will mention, just very quickly, I apologise for my sore throat. Like I said, I haven't been very well. I've been ill the last couple of days. It's Halloween season is kicking off, and I've been out and about visiting some Halloween attractions, and it's terrible weather here in the UK at the moment. So yeah, I've been getting a little bit rained on. So yeah, bear with. That's why there's not been much coming out from Planet Zoo. So I do apologise. I've not been able to capitalise very well on this beta. However, there's plenty of people out there on YouTube who have been covering all the stuff, doing the tutorials and all that thing. So if there's any questions or anything you've got in terms of the building, just do a quick search and you'll find it all out there. Once the game launches, we might delve into a sort of tutorials and that kind of thing. But for now, I haven't got the time, if I'm being completely honest. I'm just enjoying playing something new and yeah, enjoying getting these little exhibits out. So here we are starting, well, I've just finished with the waterfall. Actually quite nice. They work a lot better than the waterfalls in Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster have they have like a massive bar behind the waterfalls. A really stupid height, and they're awful to try and cover up with rock work when you try and do a waterfall in Planet Coaster. So these are much simpler. And the animations are a lot better here in Planet Zoo. So they've definitely done a little bit of work on those. Adding a few vines and sort of seaweedy type pieces down the waterfall, give it a little bit more depth, a bit more realism. And then we end this by doing a bit of lighting, and then we do quite a lot of planting around the front. I want to make it look really lush and really sort of quite a focal point. It's the position I've put this in this zoo is just because that's where I had space. Remember, this zoo that we've been building here across this 5 or 6 episode series, it's just a testing ground. We've been using this just to test a few pieces, see how the animals interact, see how the exhibits work. So none of this is really meant to be a cohesive zoo. We're just testing things. So that's really why this is kind of plonked to one side. And to be fair, we haven't really had the chance to finish many of the exhibits. The new wild dogs exhibit that we did in the last episode, I'm really happy with. This structure that we're building today, I'm also really happy with. So as we've got on this 2 weeks, we've sort of gone into the area where I'm a lot more comfortable with doing this kind of more themed approach than just plonking down exhibits, which is not something I really want to do. I'd rather take the time to make something look quite nice, like this. And I think, again, as you can see here with the lighting, it's quite subtle. So we've used kind of blues on the mountain side of the structure, and then we've gone for sort of greens to light up the main tree itself. Like I said, it is kind of inspiration from the Tree of Life, but it's not. As you can see, it's not as detailed as that. Obviously, I can't carve into the trees here. And to make it look a bit thicker, all we did there was just duplicate a couple of the different trees around the top. And I think, like I say, it works quite well. I'm quite happy with it. It gives quite a grand feel as you approach this area. A few little bits and pieces now where I'm just coming up with a name. So we call it Creepy Caves, which is, yes, not very original, but I had to call it something. So that's what that pops on there. And then, like I say, we just finish it up with a bit of path work and a few of the sort of flowers around the area. And it does turn out quite nice. Oh, I'm so sorry for coughing. How unprofessional. So I think we'll just take this last little couple of minutes of time. I think there's like another minute or two left. I'll just talk about the game in general. So how does it compare to Planet Coaster? Now, I'm more of a theme park guy through and through. I mean, I work at a theme park. I've always been a theme park fan. Disney is my sort of favourite place ever. So, yeah, I'm a very much a theme park guy. I like zoos. I love animals. So, having the familiarity of the building system in a zoo game, for me personally, is brilliant. And because I was always a big fan of Zoo Tycoon and that kind of stuff, so to have this game with the same level of detail and depth that Planet Coaster has, and for animals into the mix, is really exciting. Yes, it's beta. Yes, there's some bugs. That's the whole point of beta. So I think once this is fully launched and all those bugs are ironed out, I think it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game. I really do. And I'm not just saying that. I genuinely do think this is going to be brilliant. But even if you have never played a Planet game, if you never played Planet Coaster, I still think there is a market for this game. I think it really does tick all the boxes for anyone who has played Zoo Tycoon or anything like that, any kind of sandbox animal game. I really do think you are in for an absolute treat with this game, and I actually cannot wait for it to come out. Now, in terms, do I prefer this to Planet Coaster? Probably not. I mean, Planet Coaster is still, I think I would say, my favourite, just because it has rides and it has a lot more features. However, I can't give it a full review and a full opinion until we've played with the Sandbox, because obviously that is going to have a few more features, a few more themes, and there's a lot more at launch than what we've got in this beta. So my full review will come soon. Anyway, that's going to do us for the time lapse. So let's have some little live footage of what we've done today, and then I'll wrap up the video. So thank you guys ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I hope you've enjoyed Planet Zoo. If you have, don't forget to give us a like down below and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the content. We have plenty more stuff coming from Planet Zoo at launch next month. But for now, guys, thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, bye.